Joyce that describe him as a hypocrite and a liar.
Prime Minister and a Deputy Prime Minister work very closely together, and his observations of me in that relationship has completely transformed his view that he had as a backbencher at a time when his head was in a very different place.
Barnaby Joyce has apologised for the message which was sent last year and also offered to resign. One man who's just watching the circus from the sideline is Labor leader Anthony Albanese. Anthony Albanese, can the PM be trusted?
Good morning. Well, those closest to him have made the assessment that he can't be. So if the Deputy Prime Minister can't trust the Prime Minister, why should Australians? But the issue here is, Kochie, that this is such a distraction. The dysfunction and the dishonesty and the disunity is meaning this government is paralysed in taking the action that really does concern Australians. Issues like aged care, which is in crisis. Over 600 Australians have lost their lives. Aged care workers still can't get PPE, still can't get access to rapid antigen tests. We've got older Australians who are vulnerable, locked in their rooms, not getting enough food and water. That's the issues that concern Australians, I think, not this circus as you described it.
OK, but you're stirring the pot. Your old mate Bob Carr, the former Labor New South Wales Premier, has thrown another hand grenade in, saying it was Peter Dutton who called the PM a psycho. What's your response to that? Peter Dutton has come out and really denied that vehemently.
Oh, look, the speculation will continue. Whoever was responsible should just come forward, really, and end the speculation. This is just such a distraction. And this is a government where the Prime Minister said many months ago that he'd given up governing, he was out campaigning. We saw last Friday the rather strange circumstance of him washing a young woman's hair. These are all distractions from what the Prime Minister's job is and what the government's job is.
Did you put Bob Carr up to it?
No.
OK. All right, that's pretty definitive. Now, the Coalition is putting out its media policy today. Two really big issues. Number one, anti-siphoning. This is where there's legislation saying watching the Olympics has got to be on free-to-air. It can't be on a streaming service and force Australians to pay for it, as is the AFL Grand Final, the NRL Grand Final, the Ashes. There's no talk of extending that. Under Labor, will you extend anti-siphoning to make sure Australians don't have to pay for big sporting events?
We think there needs stronger anti-siphoning laws. Australians rely upon free-to-air TV, such as what we're talking on right now, Kochie. This is something that's available for all Australians, and we need to protect free-to-air TV. A whole lot of people, I can afford streaming services, but for a whole lot of Australians, they rely upon watching Sunrise, watching sporting events, and for major sporting events, they should all be on free-to-air TV. And this government has just kicked this can down the road again. We need stronger rules with regard to sporting events. Every Australian should get to see it.
And obviously we're biased, but free-to-air TV actually hires Australians and pays taxes. Streaming services only hire a handful of Australians and don't pay tax in this country. The big issue is most Australians have a smart TV now. So where you are on your smart TV menu is really important to viewing. In the UK, they've said, because free-to-air TV hires people, pays tax, that it must be on the top of the menu. Here in Australia, it's not going to be. So streaming services can pay to be at the top, like a Google search. Will you follow the UK model?
I think the UK model makes a lot of sense, Kochie, and that's something that we'd look at in government. It makes sense that when people turn on their TV, the first thing that they should have access to is knowing where the free-to-air channels are. And increasingly, it's getting more and more obscure so that people are finding difficulty finding the free-to-air channels. And that's not on. Free-to-air channels do employ a whole lot of people. They also make a major contribution. And The hint is in the title. They're free. They're free, and that means they're ubiquitous. They're available for everyone, and we need to protect free-to-air TV, whether it be the commercial channels or whether it be ABC.
All right. Anthony Albanese, we'll leave you to your popcorn as you watch the coalition continue. We've got Barnaby Joyce coming up after 7 o'clock live, so that will be interesting viewing. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Kochie. Have a great day.
Here's Nat.